I am going to go across to my colleague Sajeet because he has more to tell us about this union budget. Sajeet, over to you.
That's right, Agam. If you look at the union budget, it's more of a consumption-oriented budget as we look at the fine print of the budget documents. To begin with, Nirmala Sitharaman has given nearly 1 lakh crores for consumption in form of tax reductions for the middle class, and that's something which is going to bring in some kind of boost to the urban consumption which is slowing and the recovery which is happening in the rural consumption there. But especially in the urban consumption for the middle class, this 1 lakh crore is going to go a long way in increasing the consumption which is there. Defense outlay, there is a special mention of that 1.8 lakh crores coming in this defense outlay for FY26. That means that this is entirely a capital outlay which is going to be there, and this is a number which the street would be also focusing on, because many of the defense companies would be getting orders based on the outlay which has been laid out there. There isn't much there for the petroleum subsidies. Remember, petroleum companies were waiting for some kind of LPG subsidies to be given. There is not much of a respite for them. It seems that they may have to absorb them, or it may come in later on subsequently. But for FY26, the petroleum subsidies are much lower than FY25, and that's something which is to be there. Communication revenues, which basically include the AGR and penalty and interest, there isn't any change there, though the total allocation has come down from 1.2 lakh revenues to 80,000 odd crores, but the AGR revenues are still there with respect to penalty and interest, and it seems that once the cabinet approves it, there may be a tinkering in this number going forward, and that's something which we'll have to wait. Marginal tinkering in the fertilizer and food subsidies, so there's not much changes there. It's almost at par with what has been in FY25. FDI and insurance is sentiment positive for the sector, but there are certain restrictions that they will have to follow. But it's not going to have much of an impact for the Indian existing companies, because the guardrails are such that they have to invest the amount in India itself. They cannot repatriate the amount back from the premiums that they receive. Nominal GDP for FY26 is at 10.1%. They're looking at a tax revenue growth of 10.8%, which is a very conservative approach being taken by the finance minister. Normally, there's a multiplier effect to the nominal GDP, so the multiple is very minuscule, almost 1:1 coming for the tax. GDP growth and the tax receipts which they are looking at there, and capex at 11.2 is a marginal increase to the budget estimate, but revised estimate is around 10.2, so that's nearly a 10% jump there. The street was expecting 12 to 15% jump in capex, but it's not it hasn't come in. They're looking at a very lower capex of 10.18 lakh crores for FY25 as well. The street was expecting around 10.5 lakh crores for FY25, so the capex will be lower for FY25. Based on that, there's a 10% jump which is coming in at 11.2 lakh crores. So that's some of the fine print. There are certain tax changes also which is coming in, and I'm sure Harsh will come in and talk about that as well.